Nuts to butts? Who says this? Hey, what's up? I'm Dean Delray. I'm right here at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood on the Sunset Strip. This is my brand new radio show podcast coming to you once a week on iTunes and YouTube. It's basically, it's a rock and roll comedy hour. I don't know, whatever. We don't even have a format. We're just riding with it. Anyway, my guest today, my first guest, first episode, Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit. This is great. I couldn't believe it. He came down, he painted a portrait of me, which was amazing. And we talked all kinds of things, being in Limp Bizkit, his solo band, Blacklight Burns, and what Limp Bizkit and Wes Borland's been doing. Sit back, check it out. I hope you like it. Tell your friends. Let there be talk. Episode 1. Del Radio. This is a brand new podcast live at the Laugh Factory. Not really live, there's no one here, but this is episode 1, brand new show, my brand new show, and there's not really any format. It's just basically shooting the shit on the Sunset Strip. My first guest today, which is super cool.
First guest of the entire show, right?
Of the entire, the new show. Wes Borland. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Wes Borland.
This is weird for me because I've never painted and done... I've never done a podcast, in fact.
Yeah, you haven't?
I've never done an interview and had to talk and paint at the same time.
So this is your first podcast you've done?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty cool. Wes Borland, Limp Bizkit guitar player, also Blacklight Burns. And you had somebody asked a question, but I forgot Big Dumb Face, right? That was your...
Yeah.
You also played Big Dumb.
That
was
very short-lived
solo band.
Fun, silly project that was like death metal kindergarten music, and in some ways like a love letter to Ween. If you've ever heard of Ween before, probably not.
Also, you played with Marilyn Manson. Did you do that for
briefly?
A minute?
Yeah. There was 8 months of hijinks with the Marilyn Manson crew, and yeah.
You toured with him?
I did 2 shows.
2 shows.
One of which was in Korea, and it didn't go so well.
Why?
The band was great, but Manson, we were delayed. The whole show was delayed a little while. And by the way, I'm painting Dean on
that's the thing.
That's the thing this time. So Manson started partying a little bit earlier than he should have before we went on stage, and it was.
What was he doing? Drinking?
It was entertaining to see. He was eating Flintstones vitamins.
Nice.
And doing shots of Kool-Aid and.
and so he was ready to go, huh?
It kind of had an effect on him before we went on stage, so that was a fun show.
And what kind of disaster did that create?
Just I don't know. Put it this way: by the end, the bass player Twiggy had given me his bass and taken my guitar and just said, "Let's just try to just change instruments and see what happens," because it was that kind of a thing.
And Korea got an epic show.
They certainly did get an epic show.
And then where was the other show?
It was like a hot topic corporate party in a tent outside of an airport hotel down by LAX.
Hot topic private party.
Yeah. Bizarre.
So anyway, we've jumped way forward, but you're the guitar player in Limp Bizkit.
Currently, I am the guitar player in Limp Bizkit and play in another band called Blacklight Burns.
Correct,
you got it
which
right.
is your kind of other project.
Yes.
And how long have you been in Limp Bizkit? Like, how long's it been now? 15 years?
I don't know.
Years
Well, no, because I keep leaving for periods of time, so you have to kind of add up all the years that I was in and out. But I mean, it's been since '95, so like in and out, so 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
17 years.
Yeah, it's like I'm in Guns N' Roses or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Now we met. When did we met the first time you were getting back in the band, right?
Yeah, in 2004.
Was that 4?
Yeah.
Man, it's a long time, huh? We were out.
Doesn't feel like it.
It
really,
doesn't, huh?
No.
Well, one thing I liked about you Right away, because I didn't know you guys at all. I was hired to do a documentary film on you guys. And I go out and I know none of you guys.
None.
And I just remember walking up, and it was just kind of weird walking in. And I had cameras like, hey, I'm here to film you guys. And you guys didn't know me at all. So that was kind of weird, right?
Totally weird. But you're so funny that it was immediately like, Dean Delray. This is weird because now I'm having different parts of my brain that are conflicting.
Yeah.
So I'm having to, this is going to be a terrible painting and a terrible interview, maybe.
No.
I thought it was going to be one or the other, but I think it's going to be both.
No, it's going to be great.
Okay, it's going to be great. And you're moving.
One thing I noticed about you right away was that you have a great sense of humor. Like that one time we went to that store that had those shoes with the springs on them.
Oh, yeah.
And you bought them and you wore them for a while. Remember those?
I think I walked around in a couple of circles in them.
Yeah.
But those were the worst shoes
Did you buy them?
In the world.
You bought them?
I bought them and brought them back and said, these aren't for me.
They were shoes that were supposed to like save your back and stuff, and they had springs on the bottom, right?
Yep, they totally did. Awful.
Those were terrible.
Those were the worst shoes ever. And I think there was one pair that were combat boots or something that had these
and you got
giant
those.
springy heels.
Those were going to be your stage shoes, you said. I mean, at the time.
Boy, that didn't happen, did it?
No.
Not at all.
No, that's what I liked about you right away. Like, you have this incredible sense of humor. In the midst of this hurricane of Limp Bizkit, you have a different outlook on the band, don't you think? As you play, you wear costumes.
Kind of.
I mean, you're not like a joke rocker, but I'm saying you come from a different view of it. Like sometimes you have, like this last tour, you had a full crazy like pink outfit or something, right?
Well, it turned pink. The whole idea was sort of like an all white Hunter S. Thompson meets Miami Vice kind of beach look, with a Panama hat and I had a little pencil mustache and sunglasses, and then I wore no pants and just had white underwear and white legs, and
you painted your whole body,
painted
right?
my whole body white too, and then all my waters were in like cored out pineapples with tiki umbrellas and straws and stuff like that. And then as I was thinking about it, I was thinking, what's the worst thing I could do with a white outfit? It's either be on your period or rectal bleeding.
Right.
So I got fake blood, and before we went on every night, I poured a bunch of blood down my butt crack, and it just sort of spread during the show. And that was fun.
Now, where do you get the inspirations for your looks? Like early on, you would have you had like the black contacts, right?
Yeah, I still do actually have. I do black contacts or like blue or just something weird.
Right. Now, I just read a tweet recently. You were putting together a costume, and the silicone or something was burning your skin.
Yeah, that's always fun, right?
So you just make
silicone
these
burn your-
costumes and you just experiment with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, I'm not that great of a guitar player, so I have to like make up for it by having, a great look or a semi-great look. And I always just thought of the stage as a place, that should be taken advantage of and not just go up in a t-shirt and,
Right.
your whatever you have on that you're wearing off stage. I always liked that whole I loved it. I wasn't a huge Kiss fan of their music, but I remember seeing them as a kid and just going, oh my gosh, Kiss is like it was just flooring to see that kind of activity and that kind of look on stage. And I remember I got to see. Remember when Kiss reformed around like
96?
Yeah, 96.
The makeup and everything.
I actually got to go to that thing under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh.
Yeah, we were in New York. I was in New York with Ross, and Ross was taking me to like strip clubs and stuff or something. And I remember we went to and I met some crazy stripper that had tickets to that thing. And,
to Kiss?
To the Kiss thing under the Brooklyn Bridge, and I was just like, I don't know, I was 20 or 21 and just went with this like crazy lady to go see Kiss under the Brooklyn Bridge, and just remember being floored at how crazy it was, and the amps and the how
Bombs,
big, yeah, just how big everything looked. And I mean, for me at the time, I'd been to shows and stuff before, but never seen anything like Kiss exactly.
Right.
And that was.
What kind of music do you listen to now?
I listen to I still like bands like, death metal, and there's some metal that I still like, but a lot of the time I'm listening to like more ethereal, mellow stuff, because I think either like it's getting older or when you start to like, this is such a bad painting. Like getting older when you start to like, I don't know, just playing heavy metal or heavy music all the time, you end up wanting to kind of unwind and listen to something that's not what you're playing.
Right, exactly.
I don't know. I like the XX a lot, and Esben and the Witch and Sparkle Horse and stuff like that.
Sparkle Horse, great.
Yeah,
that guy's dead now.
Yeah,
bummer.
Big bummer.
I like that Pink Floyd cover he did.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Oh, it's great. It was on a soundtrack. I got it. I was going to ask you something. When you guys, like Limp Bizkit was getting together, how did your sound come about? Because, like, there wasn't really a lot of that going on, that kind of rap metal and stuff. And,
right.
And, like, how did it, like, were you guys a metal band? And then, like, I mean,
well, they were kind of doing it before. They had a different guitar player before I was involved. And when I actually got into the band, a lot of stuff in a direction had kind of already
been molded?
Yeah, been molded and set. And then we rewrote everything after I joined the band. We had all new songs and stuff. But during the time, it was that was sort of a new thing with like Rage had just put their record out about 3 years before we started.
Right.
Like 92 or something like that. We were playing. We started playing in 95. I'm having so much brain trouble right now.
Oh, no, man. It's all good.
But what am I doing? Am I painting or am I talking? Yeah, and we usually paint naked chicks, so this is sort of a bummer in some ways. But
you paint naked chicks?
Yeah, like I go to like whenever I'm doing this is called an alla prima, which means like all at once, all in one sitting.
Right.
Which means you just finish the painting. It's wet on wet paint, and I'm using oil paint, so we usually do it for about 6 hours and are painting a naked girl and like drinking and smoking, and there's a bunch of painters that are all together.
You smoke weed or cigarettes?
No, cigarettes.
Oh, you smoke cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what?
No, it's weird that you smoke cigarettes.
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, you eat pretty healthy, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I drink booze and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, that's right.
I never tried cocaine.
No?
Never.
No, you and I went to Prague together.
Yeah, we sure did.
That was epic.
It certainly was.
That was like a life changer for you, right?
Yeah, let's not talk as much about that.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean. Prague was fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a life changer.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? What about for you? How was Prague for you?
Prague we were there, 6 weeks?
Something like that. I think it was less.
Was it less?
Yeah, I think so.
It felt like 6 weeks.
It felt like forever.
I just remembered that it was really hard to get some good food after a while. We just kept eating at the same place.
That Italian place in the square?
Remember?
Yeah.
But there was just a lot of McDonald's, and I mean, after you see the Charles Bridge and all the beautiful castles and everything, it's amazing how quick you get defused from that. Like, just you don't even see them anymore after like the third day.
I thought I did.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure you did.
Like, I thought they were amazing. I remember just walking around taking pictures of everything there.
The nightlife was crazy there.
Yeah,
the
it
absinthe, was that the first time you drank that?
Yeah, to the amount. I think when we went to Prague, my whole idea was that I was going to drink as much absinthe as possible.
Right, that was the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan, just to have just have a time and see what it did, and it sure had an effect, didn't it?
It was great, man. I had a great time. It was cold, though. I remember that.
Oh, and you guys were going out to. I wasn't even going out to the film shoot part of it going on.
Like Fred was starring in an NBC miniseries.
Yeah.
And they were shooting outdoors in the ice cold. And it was just terrible. I mean, it was like, 5 degrees or something out there. That was crazy.
It was really bad. I remember seeing pictures of you guys just
10-hour
suffering.
days outside. That sucked.
That was really bad.
It was. It's so
And
weird
really,
because
really bad and really good.
I met you guys in 2004, and it seems like I've done like the world, like of stuff with you guys.
We kind of have.
Yeah, we have. So, tell me, how did you get into painting? Like I always.
Well, I've been doing this before, and it's kind of embarrassing that I'm for the painting live for the first time, and we're talking and stuff.
Yeah, but it's fun.
It's fun, yeah, but just I feel like I have to make disclaimers on this.
Well, yeah.
Because right now this looks more like Henry Rollins than it does to you.
I mean, I can't even believe you even have anything on there. It's only been about 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, I work fast.
Yeah. Well, now, like, when did you start painting? Because I like painting. I got into painting, like,
I didn't know you painted.
No, I don't paint, but I got into paintings like that Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction cover, Robert Williams. And from Robert Williams, I kind of found Todd Shore and then Mark Ryden and all that style of art. Are you into those kind of guys?
Yeah, I think Mark Ryden's killer.
Yeah, Mark Ryden's amazing.
I mean, he's like the best, he's like LA's darling boy in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I remember in like 90, maybe 92 or something, seeing his paintings. They were $7,000, and now they're $1 million.
Jeez,
You
they
know what
are
I mean?
now?
Well, I mean, the old big ones. He doesn't even paint big anymore. They're all really small now.
Like tiny
but
little
back
guys.
then they were giant.
Yeah.
And
Mark
same
Ryden,
with
man.
Todd Shore. They were like the size of this wall.
You know what? I have to say it. I'm not familiar with Todd Shore.
Yeah. They're all kind of that similar. I think they come from the school of Robert Williams.
Right.
You
right.
know,
That
that kind of lowbrow art, that stuff.
Lowbrow art. That's
yeah.
what I don't know why they call it that. That's so insulting.
Yeah, I don't either, huh? Because it's really good.
Yeah. Maybe it's because it's cartoony or something like that.
I guess so.
Maybe.
What kind of painters are you into?
I would say I guess more classical, not classical, like classical and 20th century, like John Singer Sargent and I don't know, Caravaggio, Van Gogh. I think that like modern times, I'm actually have been lucky enough to be friends with some local painters and out of town painters that have taught me a little bit, like Michael Husser and Phil Hale and Kevin Llewellyn, who are like these just knockout guys that are modern masters, and gotten to work with them. This is gonna be so stupid.
Now you only paint. You don't use acrylics, only oil.
Yeah, only oil. I don't really.
And why is it? I'm just curious.
I just oil's a better. You can work into it for a long time, and it's acrylic.
It takes a long time to dry.
Yeah,
so
and it's harder to use. Also, so that's kind of kind of the thrill of using it or whatever. And
right.
Yeah, acrylic is kind of, to me, like a substandard media in a way.
Right. Now you do some of the band artwork, right? Because I watched you did the Unquestionable Truth cover.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I watched you paint that. And then also you paint like a lot of your equipment too, like your amp screens. And stuff.
Like I paint my equipment, paint my my body on stage, and just do a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, man, you're definitely looking like Henry Rollins right now.
I don't want to look like Rollins.
Well,
I love Rollins, but I don't want people.
I'm trying to block into as much of it as I can, and then I'll start fine tuning in a minute. The first time I lay something in, it always doesn't look like the person, and then I start to tune the face up and stuff like that. So.
Right. So we're here at the Laugh Factory, and you came and saw me do a show. But other than me doing comedy, do you like watching comedy?
Yeah, of course.
Like
absolutely.
Yeah. Like who do you like? Do you have any favorites, or is just?
Well, I saw Chris D'Elia for the first time the other night, and that was incredible. He's really funny, but you've gotten really good.
Thanks.
You've gotten really good at
Yeah, because you
stand-up.
saw me, like a year ago?
I think I might have seen your first stand-up show ever.
Oh, yeah.
I think I was there.
At the
Yeah.
Improv?
I thought it was at the Comedy Store.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that wasn't your first show.
Right. Maybe it was my second.
Yeah. It's also hard because you're moving around a bunch. Night. Well, usually we have people freeze.
Yeah.
You know,
and they just sit there. I mean, if you're sitting there just like this for hours.
Well, we tell them to get as comfortable as possible,
Right.
and then and then basically, like sometimes people are kind of like. They're kind of like, I don't want it. We don't make people get naked. It's
Right.
just like that's better because
Right.
you're painting the human body or whatever, and it's jick, so it's killer. But a lot of times you'll see them like be kind of nervous about that, but then as they're sitting there for the painting, you see the change, and they go, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to sit here." With breaks for the next 5 hours, and you kind of see the light go out of their eyes a little bit. Like they just go.
Do you pay them?
No, they want to do it because I paint with Michael Husser, and people want to be painted by him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like the people that paint with him. So, because it's cool because they get to take the paintings and put it on their Facebook page and go, look, I got painted by Michael Husser or whatever like that. But
does he keep the painting or does he give it to him?
Keeps them.
Wow.
We all keep them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they get pictures.
Yeah.
They get pictures of the
And then
thing.
what, you sell them?
No, these are basically what I'm doing right now and what we do, it's mainly for our own sort of learning experience and,
Right.
and to basically like it's like working out sort of for a painter.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
just
like
you're-
open mics for a comedian.
Yeah, you're just painting from life and having fun with, sitting around with your friends and having fun and just doing it to it.
Do you remember your first painting? What was it?
It was probably my first oil painting was in high school at some point, and it was just terrible. Man, I don't want to talk about it.
Did you go to art
Dude.
class? You had an art class?
Yeah, I had art classes, but I've definitely learned more from like working with other people, that are not teachers, I guess, or have taught, but are more making their, way in the real world as actual working painters
Right.
that are making a living selling art. So that's
Because this shit sells for crazy money.
well, the art game's weird, man. It's like,
I mean, Bob Dylan paints. I've seen some of his paintings,
yeah.
and
What's that like?
man, they're just like spectacular.
Is he a good painter?
Well, some of them that I saw, I mean, I know he had a show in Europe and they were all sold or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what those paintings were, but I've seen some of his private paintings. And then Jacob Dylan paints.
You've seen
And
painting-
his paintings are
Yeah.
great too. Like he's way into painting. It seems like a lot of people that are into music like to paint because on their downtime, it gets their mind, somewhere else.
I could see that.
Because you get a lot of stress when you got to make records, and
Yeah.
and this is kind of a way to go off into fantasy land or just get your brain somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because, like writing songs is kind of like painting. You know what I mean? You're
Well, I
creating something.
definitely think of it that way.
Yeah. You're creating something that people are going to see or hear. And once they're recorded and they're out, they're kind of permanent. Same with like a painting.
Yeah, but paintings take a lot longer to put together, I think, than
Paintings?
or not. I don't know. It's like paintings you can always change.
Right.
Like I just made you cross-eyed now. I'm back to the way it was.
You just made me cross.
Yeah, you were just totally cross-eyed for a second there.
And then you fixed it?
Yeah, and then I fixed it.
What about that one guy that does the painting thing on TV at night? He sells some kind of infomercial. You know that guy with the gray beard?
What, Bob Ross?
Is that him? Yeah. What's he do?
That's like the guy that's
Paint by numbers or something? He
Are
does
you talking about the Happy Little Trees guy?
Does he do landscapes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. What's that guy about?
It's Bob Ross,
I
man.
I can't remember. I just remember late night seeing those commercials.
Yeah. Well, it's Bob Ross. How's the interview going for you?
It's good, man.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
On a scale 1 to 10 right now. 7?
Well, it's 10.
6.
Well, no,
10?
no, it's a 10 because first of all, you're here, which is great.
Okay.
Because I've known you for years, and it's funny because you're an interesting guy and you have so much depth, you know what I mean? And I think people on the outside of the world would just think that Limp Bizkit guys are just like some like frat guy buffoons or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how guys are like, oh yeah. And then when you start to roll with guys, like I was rolling with you guys, and I was like, hey, these guys are into some cool stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's always interesting to me, you know? I mean, I don't think it would be the same maybe if we were with Sugar Ray or something, but, you know.
With Sugar Ray?
No, I'm saying like some bands, I would think they're probably exactly how they are on stage that they are off stage.
Right.
With you, you know, you could tell there's going to be something there because you've got all this art going on, your look, your guitar playing is super interesting. It's not just your standard solo, you know, you don't just play the power chords into a solo power chords.
Right.
You play interesting, crazy riffs and stuff. And
thanks, Dean.
And also all kinds of weird different instruments. Like some of that stuff you play, like when I first met you, were playing that 4-string weird kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I still kind of do that.
Yeah,
with
those things, kind of long banjo-y things. Now, what do you call that? A guitar? I mean, it's a guitar, obviously, but
well,
how is it tuned?
It's tuned like AADG, with the low A being an octave lower than the second A, and it's just basically, you know, during the time when Korn came out and people were going like, well, let's go lower, I just went, let's just drop the E string an octave lower than the A and just
yeah, as low as you could go.
Yeah, let's just go an octave lower than the A, and then I stopped using the top 2 strings and then wanted to move them further apart and have more of like single note stuff on that than you know, playing chords or whatever, and ended up just, you know, having somebody build it, and that was that. And it's cool. It's a different sound.
Oh, definitely. And also, it's a strange approach how I see you guys write songs, because you were in the studio as 4 guys, 5 guys, and it almost seems like, I mean, usually a songwriting process happens where a guy's just writing on an acoustic in his room.
Right.
He comes in, and then the band gets behind it, and it becomes this song. But with you guys, it's almost like a hip hop kind of thing where your guitar is the, you know, would be like, say, the sample. You know,
sometimes it's like that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
it
you
just
would
depends.
come up with this incredible thing, and then also, and I would see this magic come, and it would just build into this insane song. You know, and me playing music for a long time, it was interesting to see, because I would be like, well, all of a sudden it's rolling, and it's like a powerful song.
Yeah.
Especially that era, Uncustable Truth was really heavy stuff.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was definitely an interesting time, and we, you know, the stuff that we did was, I don't know if it was exactly us, but it was like us trying to reform, you know, and be a band again when we hadn't been for so long. And I think that that was sort of a fail in many ways. And then we did Gold Cobra recently, and that was, I think, like much more of a big win.
Right. Now, Cobra, what's your favorite Limp Bizkit record?
Probably Gold Cobra. I mean, it's like the one that was the most fun to do. And
because you just didn't have any stress. You're like, who cares?
Well, yeah, and plus, you know, it was. I feel like we were getting along.
Right.
For like the best that we had in years, and that was nice to like actually be working like a team instead of, you know, having all this animosity and the stuff that sort of broke us up before.
Right.
And I hate this fucking band.
I mean, the thing is with your band, it is bound to explode because it was just so huge. You know, I mean, it just got to this incredible height, and then of course you're gonna have to go down. You know.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't understand is, like, I talk to people all the time and they go, yeah, whatever happened to those guys? What people don't understand is you guys are out making records and you're touring, you're playing in front of like 60,000 people, like in Brazil and stuff like that, South America.
Yeah, we haven't done the States, I think in the last 3 years we've played 10 shows in the States or something like that. But people all the time tell me, like, that people are ready to see the band again and would love to see you guys play the States. And all the shows that we played were good. I think that possibly coming up, we're actually going to try to, tour the States.
Yeah.
It's just been, I think we've been kind of like, oh, I don't know if we can do that. Don't know if it's going to work. People are more fickle in the States than they are elsewhere in the world,
right.
And it's kind of harder to get them on board, and get them.
I mean, because you're doing like 60,000 people in, say, like South America, and then here you're doing like a theater that's got to feel just so different.
Well, one cool thing is that I think was sort of a step up is we played Epicenter in Anaheim recently, and that was tens of thousands of people, and that went really well.
Now, what was that? Something that you guys put together?
No, it was like a K-Rock thing.
Oh, a K-Rock thing.
Yeah, like a K-Rock thing, and that went really well, I thought.
Right.
And everybody singing all the words, and it was fine. And if we can do that in Southern California, it seems like we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, seems like you're destroying like Middle America, right?
Yeah.
Because Middle America, like Fred and I were in Shreveport doing a movie.
Yeah.
Man, he'd get mobbed everywhere we went still. You know
That's
what I mean?
great.
Like, we just go out to eat and we'd have to leave.
You'd have to leave?
Well,
what happened?
after a while, it just somebody would rat us out where we were, and then a bunch of people would come and just start bugging us. Not in a bad way, but it was like, let's split.
Right.
So, I mean, it's different than, New York, San Fran, and L.A.
Well, I think people are just more real than they are in New York and L.A. People just really like what they like and kind of don't give a shit as much,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody has, bands that they like that other people don't like. It's a strange thing to me, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the only genre, I think, of art where people are like, they hide something. They're embarrassed to say, like, hey, I like Adele. You know what I mean? Or something like a grown man or whatever. Like me, I like Adele. And people are like, what? It's strange. People they hide their stuff they like. But there's obviously people that love Limp Bizkit still because they're going.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable, but in some ways, because I never thought that we were gonna do that well. Every time we got bigger or whatever as a band, I always was like, okay, well, this is the biggest it's ever gonna get, and then it would just go further and further and further, and I was always shocked, for some reason. Like we would just keep going up and up and up, and I was like, what do people like about us? Why is this happening?
Well, it's pretty hooky shit, man.
Yeah, I guess
so. If you hear the chorus and the way the repetitions and stuff and the riff, it gets in your head and then it's in there.
Yeah.
And then it's got mad energy, right?
Yeah, I mean, live, that's, a lot of times when people say that, like, I hate your band, I always say, you should probably check us out live because it's, it's a different thing.
Right. I think they don't hate the band. They might hate, it was popular to hate you guys, Right. And then they just get on that train, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people are like, they don't even know. Maybe they've never even heard the band.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard not to have heard us if you're like over a certain age.
I'm saying like they heard like 2 songs or something, they don't know anything about it, There
are people now that, like kids who have no idea who we are, which is pretty funny. Like, who?
I got a couple questions here on the net. Let's see I won't pick any stupid ones because it's some people are dumb, but some people are cool. This guy, I actually love him. Please ask Wes the current situation of Limp Bizkit after going with Cash Money Records. And what do we expect in the future? Now, you guys signed with Cash Money Records. Is that happening?
We're sort of developing with Cash Money Records right now. Like we haven't officially. I mean, I don't think we've officially signed yet, unless there's something I don't know. But I don't think that we've signed yet. It's just basically we're working on songs with their producers and like. Getting to know. It's like the getting to know you period kind of right now.
Right.
But
and I know Fred's been going out to Florida. Do you go out there or what is he doing?
Yeah, I've been.
And what are you guys doing? Recording out there?
We're recording, we're working on music and it's been going really well. It's a different kind of a world, like the whole hip hop world, but as far as like working the way they work and stuff, because they work all night long.
Is that right?
Yeah, like they sleep all day.
The hip hop guys, who are we talking about?
Just like the entire studio.
Wow.
Like all the guys on Cash Money come in really late at night and like midnight, and they go till 9 in the morning.
And do they sleep during the day?
Yeah, they sleep during the day. So when we go, we have to go in and like
readjust.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like jet lag in the studio.
Exactly, it's a complete readjustment. So that's weird. And then yeah, man, it's definitely a different world.
Do these guys know how to record guitars and stuff? Because they usually just grab samples, right?
Well, yeah, but they have engineers. So like when I came down to play guitars, all the engineers were so stoked, so happy.
Yeah, like
they're like, we get to record guitars. This is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, because they're all these engineers out of engineer school that don't really do anything but, you know, are recording samplers and keyboards a lot of the time.
Right.
So they were so happy, man.
And how's that going? Are you digging it?
I am. Yeah, I want to go back. I mean, it's wild working down there because they'll just go, let's go to a club in the middle of the night, and then all of a sudden you're at a club and there's like people making it rain with like $1 bills everywhere. And,
it's like the videos,
yeah,
right?
It's like the videos at the clubs. You know.
I mean, how much money do those guys blow? You ever see when they throw it? If I was there, I'd just start picking the money up. You know, when they're not looking?
Yeah,
I mean, they just throw crazy money around.
I mean, that's just like it's not even them. It's like other people at the club. It's just like that's what people are doing there. You know, that's like just part of, you know, the fun is to do that. So, I don't know. This is starting to look a tiny bit more like you.
I hope so.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you.
You're moving so all over the place, so it's like really hard to.
I'm not even moving. Okay, let's get another question here. And by the way, I'm loving this interview. It's fun. Ask Wes if Limp Bizkit have in mind to play some new songs in the upcoming tour that aren't recorded yet. That's not going to happen, right?
No way.
Yeah.
Well, it could. Anything's possible, but I seriously doubt it.
Now, you guys are getting ready to go on tour, right?
Yeah, we leave.
You're rehearsing tonight?
May 23rd. Rehearsing tonight. Yep.
And where do you guys go?
We're doing Europe right now.
And where at? Like just festivals?
A bunch of headlining shows. We just have one show in England. We have 2 shows in Moscow, which is my favorite because it's so like wild to be there.
Moscow?
Yeah, and yeah, the whole European thing is just so fun. We do it every year.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Last year was that the Metallica one? Or 2 years ago, you guys played some dates with Metallica in Europe. Did you do that?
I think the thing was that we were on festivals with Metallica, but like on a different day or something like that. I don't know if we were actually, you know, playing with Metallica at the same time. We weren't opening for Metallica or anything like that.
What do you remember about that Summer Sanitarium tour? That was the Metallica, you guys.
I was out of the band then.
Oh, you were out of the band. That's right.
Yeah, I was out of the
band.
band.
Now, you didn't get to do that one.
I didn't do that one.
Yeah.
No Metallica for me.
So how many years were you out then?
Let's see, 2001 to 2004.
2001 to 2004.
And then I never left the band after that. We just shut down until 2009.
After the questionable truth.
Yeah, we just everything just kind of shut down after that. So that was it.
Yeah, that's it. How's it going now?
It's going great. We're working on the Cash Money stuff.
Right.
And then we have we're also doing like more of a normal record, like a record that we would.
So you're doing 2 records at the same time?
No, we're doing like singles with Cash Money, and then doing like a full proper it's either going to be EP or a record. Right now.
And now you guys aren't on Interscope, so is that going to come out on Cash Money too, or
yep.
just
the rock stuff's going to come out on Cash Money too.
Oh, that's pretty bitchin'.
Yep. So that'll be cool.
That's always cool because you guys like have 2 different flavors, you know.
And like
releasing, it's so single oriented now, right?
Right. And I think that like doing singles with Cash Money and then doing a full record, and I think it'll be their first rock record, which is kind of cool too.
That is pretty interesting.
You know?
Now, are those guys into rock when you're there? Do they know what they're talking about?
Yeah. Well, they're really, I think they're just getting into it, so they're really impressed. Like, so when they hear any guitar at all, they're like, "Whoa, that's killer!" You know. And so I went there and started slinging out some crazy riffs, and they were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, because it really hasn't been done. Like, I mean, you had Cypress Hill. Remember, they had the heavy riffs of like, "So you want to be a rock superstar?"
Yeah.
But if you actually took like the huge, I mean, you know, Rick Rubin did it. He took like rock riffs of Slayer and stuff. But if you actually had a rock band, like say Limp Bizkit, and then the rappers fronting it,
yeah,
that would be kind of interesting too, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean,
or just getting them, you know, to participate. Who knows where it's going to go? I mean, it could be really.
It's got to go somewhere though.
Yeah,
right?
it's
pretty
cool.
stale right now.
It's going to be
rap.
Cool.
Do you listen to rap?
I mean, I don't, and I think that it's sort of in like, so when I hear it, it's very cool to me to hear it, but I think it's important kind of for me not to listen to it that much so that I can have that other perspective on things. And yeah, I mean, I kind of like just being solely from a different perspective or a more like rock music perspective and not having the rap so much, because it's really cool and new to me when I hear stuff, you know, like that, like especially the Cash Money stuff and all the stuff they're doing down there. And the guy we've been working with down there is so talented.
What's his name?
His name is Detail, and he is
Detail.
Detail, yeah. And
he's the producer.
He's like producing and making beats and stuff like that. And he's actually from LA, but they've had him like down there working for months.
How old is he?
Young. Like,
a lot of these guys are young,
like
right?
24 to 28, I would guess.
And he just makes beats all day long?
Yeah. Sleeps all day. No, he doesn't make them all day long.
Yeah,
he sleeps all day and makes beats all night.
They smoke a lot of weed, those guys?
I don't know.
Hip hop guys are so into weed.
I guess probably they do, yeah.
Yeah. You smoke weed?
No, it turns me into a paranoid weirdo.
Yeah, me too. I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. I can't do it.
I always feel like I'm going to have a heart attack on it. You know what I mean?
Every once in a while, I think that it'll be funny to smoke weed, for other people to go, oh my God, Wes is smoking weed for shock value.
Yeah.
And then immediately I'm like, I can't wait till this is over.
Oh,
I can't wait till this is over. This is the worst. Yeah.
I smoke weed, and then 5 minutes later, I go, I got to get home. Because I want to get in my bed, you know?
Yeah, but you've been sober for a long time, right?
Yeah, but I smoked some weed. I smoked a lot of weed while I was playing music because I think I got to a point where when I was playing music that I'd played thousands of gigs, you know? I think I played a couple thousand gigs. And on the last 500 of them, I was like, I need something to feel dangerous. Or, you know, I need to mess it up.
Right.
So I would smoke weed before I went on just to see where it'd take me.
And
I started getting good at it. Weed, you gotta practice. If you're just out at the Comedy Store and you smoke, or the Laugh Factory or whatever out front, and you smoke some weed, you know, you're gonna pay the price.
What, like if you're performing?
No, I'm just saying if you haven't smoked it in a long time and you're like, this looks like a good idea, immediately it's not.
Yeah, not at all.
It's just too strong.
I just don't like it.
Yeah. It's not for me. I'm more of an up guy. You're an Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
We're both Aquariuses. Yeah, look at that. We should date.
Yeah, when's your birthday?
February 7th.
Oh, yeah, mine's the 3rd. We're close.
Real close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
How old are you?
37.
37.
Yeah.
Man.
How old are you, Dean?
I'm 46.
How's that going?
It's going good. I like being old, but I'm afraid of death. You know what I mean? Are you afraid of death?
Well, sometimes I just want to die.
Really?
Kind of. Like, I've just, like, had enough. But, no, I don't want to kill myself, but
I understand.
It'd be nice to get hit by a car sometimes. You know, when you're just... when you just fucking had it with everything. But
right.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm a like happy guy.
Yeah, and, I mean that's an unusual trait for Aquarius to want to get hit by a car.
It is?
I think so.
Well, try being in a giant rock band and then having your career not be where it was before.
What do you miss? This is an interesting question about being in a giant rock band. What do you miss? And a lot of people can be, I'm sure wouldn't be honest on this, but do you miss the money or the giant crowds?
Well, we still play to giant crowds.
Right.
And we still make money. We just don't tour as much as we did for some reason.
Right.
Now. You know, I think we will. It's just like a weird time in our career right now, you know? And the thing that I actually think it's better to not have the amount of money that I used to have because I would forget things.
Oh, like yeah.
I was in a bubble. Like I was totally out of touch with what was actually going on in the world around me.
Right.
I just was, because I didn't have to be. I could just like not talk to people and you know do whatever I wanted and not have really any consequences. And now I remember people when I meet them, and I have, you know, life is more enjoyable now.
It's off the sensory overload.
Right, like it's like the whole sensory overload thing. It's like people, like just tons of people coming up to you all the time, and you're just like, I don't know who you are. I don't know. This is too much. I can't do it.
Right.
And now it's like I actually work harder and feel like I'm earning it instead of it just like coming in all the time. Because there was one point I remember where there was like a check for $70,000 that I just was like didn't even care about, that was sitting on the counter.
That's like Caddyshack. You remember that? Like when Bill Murray shows up or the chick shows up to Chevy Chase's apartment, and she's like, "Hey, this one for $1 million." He's all, "Oh yeah, keep it." You know?
Yeah, it was
checks all over.
It was
place.
Seriously stuff like that, and I mean now I would die for like
I know.
that. Like now I would be like, "Oh my God, $70,000! I'm freaking out." But I don't know. I think I was 24 and just had that check laying around. Didn't care.
Wow.
I mean, what a weird position to be in, and what a
and where was that check
idiot.
from? A record company or a concert?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
The most money's in the merch, right? Is that what's going on?
I think it was at one time. You know, we don't have the same amount of like merch that we, you know, did before or whatever.
Right.
But, most of the money nowadays, because I mean the change in the record industry, and I actually got interviewed yesterday for a documentary that's coming out about the record industry, and that's basically like a handbook for bands.
Yeah,
like,
help them out.
Kind of like what to do, what to expect, and that was really interesting. We talked about it a lot, about like what the future of music is and what's going to happen. And now most of the way you can make money, you basically make records to have ticket sales now, instead of going on tour to sell records.
Right.
It's like
nobody's buying records, right?
Right, no one's buying records, so it's like I have new material, you know, I've got material coming out, so please come to the show.
Right.
Basically.
What do you think about the stealing music? I mean, this is the oldest topic ever. But I mean, you're in there making these records that cost money, and you know no one's going to buy it.
Right, but
it's kind of like a commercial now, right?
Right, I think
commercials are free.
Yeah, kind of.
In between the show, and to go see the band.
Right. I think that something is going to have to change eventually, because the movie industry is going to get hit, and
they're going to get hit.
And then the video game industry and the software industry is going to start getting hit harder. And there, all these laws, like things that have been coming up in different countries that are, where people are going to start policing the internet, and they're trying to, allow government to get involved with having, just like all these laws about you can't put this and all the copyright stuff. I think that stuff is not right. That's not the way to go. But there's going to have to be something that's like an in between.
Right.
Something that's some kind of compromise in some way where people go, look, you can't. Music just isn't free. Because if you were born after 1990, you think music is free.
Yeah, you just don't know. You just like, and everybody says the same thing. Well, my friend gave it to me. That's why I was telling people I had to kind of quit playing music after a while when people just didn't really understand it. I would be after the show, go, hey, you want to buy one of our CDs? And they go, no, my friend downloaded it for me, so I got it. I love it. They don't even realize that they just told you, I just got it for free. We stole it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, because they don't care. Why would they care?
Yeah, they don't care.
No one's making them,
Yeah.
No one's making them pay for it.
Yeah.
It's all in the honor system. So it's.
Yeah.
It's. I think that the thing is that another thing is we have these bands that in the past, Zeppelins and the Radioheads who like were these great bands, and if I offended you by including those two bands in the same sentence, sorry,
but no.
You have these great bands.
Like them both.
You have these great bands that progressed and became came into their own after a couple records,
right?
And baby bands can't do that anymore because they get dropped after one record.
It's one record, no sale, you're out of here.
Yeah, one record, no sale. It's like even if they have a hit, they have to have a hit on the next one. But usually it takes bands like that some time to come into their own. Then they become great.
Right.
But it's the state of the industry that we're in right now. It's not allowing anyone to do that.
Well, what I don't think a lot of the bands understand is the new bands now is you got to do all the groundwork.
Yeah, yourself.
You know what I mean? You got to do the work. They're all thinking like a record company's going to sign us. We're going to get a tour bus and get out on the road and be rich. It's like that's not going to happen. What you need to do is start selling T-shirts or giving your music away or whatever you got to do to generate some kind of interest to where you hold the cards when the record company comes. You go, we've already got this going. What do you got for us to offer?
Right.
And then when you put your first record out, it's not like, who are these guys and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
You've already got this grassroots thing. That's why a lot of bands like that are in that kind of hippie scene, like say the Dave Matthews Jr. bands.
Oh yeah, like the jam bands and the people.
They already know what the hell they're doing. They've got their own business going.
Yeah.
They create it like weed selling or something. They're out there just getting it going, and by the time they're big, they're already like they don't need anything.
Right.
And bands need to look at it like that. It's like me as a comedian. I'm pounding the ground 24/7. Because it's me. I'm selling me. Nobody else. As soon as you want somebody else to do it, you call them, they haven't done it. Whatever you need them to do.
Right.
You've got to do it. And that's how it is these days.
I agree.
We'll get one more question here.
Let's do it.
Did you have fun?
I did. I'm almost done, too.
Okay, let's see. Let me see here. This is a dumb question, but we'll just throw it out.
Great.
No, I throw it at you. It's like if you were a superhero, which one would you like to be?
A superhero?
Yeah. Like you like the
sure
comic books and stuff.
I don't know. There's so many dumb superheroes. I mean, the coolest superhero to me is probably Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah.
I mean, because he lives forever, and he's and has the claws. But the problem with him is he doesn't remember anything, like about his life. So that's sort of a bummer.
Yeah.
But
all right, I got one right here. This guy, I love guys that tweet in like this because they think they're edgy.
Okay.
I always love guys that are just like dicks, internet dicks.
Okay, is this an internet dick?
Yeah, internet dick,
All right, let's go.
What is it like to be in a band that is hated so much? And I love this question because this is a typical just asshole that just doesn't even know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Well, Biscuit is one of the most hated bands in the world.
Right.
And I think that what it's done for me is just know that people's opinions really aren't that important, and that it's allowed me to kind of, I guess, like, take criticism to a certain extent, but also just go, you know what? Not all these people are right. They don't really know what they're talking about. And
it's really small amounts of people, right?
No, I think it's a large amount of people. It's just that I don't really get bothered. The best thing about it is I don't get bothered by negativity as much as I used to.
Right. Right.
Because it really used to hurt. Now it's just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah. I think one interesting thing about you is the group of people that you hang out with, your friends and stuff. It's interesting to me because those would be the people that you would think would be like, oh, I hate their band. But then I always find that they go, hey, these guys are great dudes.
Yeah, I mean, that part's cool. I have some great friends and stuff, and I think that the thing is a lot of people have, kind of, who had no interest in Biscuit whatsoever, have kind of given it a chance and gone, you know what, you guys are really good live. And
yeah,
I've gone up to bands at festivals and invited them, who I look up to, and invited them to come on stage and watch, and they've always. I mean, we had like, have you ever heard of Klaxons before?
Oh, yeah.
I like made friends with them, and they were on the side of the stage singing like every word to every song. And it was like, who would have thought that Klaxons would be over here just like rocking out to our show, you know? And that was, it's always awesome when something like that happens, whether it's for, they're doing it because it's nostalgic and reminds them of when they were kids, or whether they're generally, just great guys. I don't really care. Whichever reason is fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for coming, man.
Hang on, I'm finishing the roses. There, okay.
Episode 1 in the can with Wes Borland and the oil painting.
And I'm signing it right now.
Thank you, brother.
There you go.
Let's see it. Can I see it?
You got to come over here and see it.
That's pretty sweet.
All right, Dean, come have a look.
Okay. Here, talk to Nick and guide him in. Wow, man, that's insane. Oh, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah?
No, man, it's great. I can't believe how much you did in 1 hour. I love that thing, man.
Like, it doesn't look, it doesn't look just
no,
like you.
No,
but,
I love it.
moving.
I think it's fucking awesome.
What's yours?
Oh, dude. Look at that thing.
I got to take